Hi, this is a simple progression. It's 1, 4, 5. We're using all minor chords, bar chords in this case. So playing A minor. Okay, on the tab that I'm going to show you, I got it listed as an A minor with a small 1. Because the first position and the second position is when you bar just 5. First position is when you bar all 6 strings. Okay? So that's going to go on the 5th fret. And here are the first 2 measures. We're going to go over this first measure here. So you hit down strum. Start on the 4th string with your first finger. 5th and 7th frets. 5th fret, 3rd string. 7th fret, 4th string. 5th fret, 3rd. And give a little vibrato. And so what I have here, just use your 1st and 3rd fingers. I got the symbol for vibrato and I gave that dot. So if you have like some of you that can read notation, notes, you know that when you have a dotted note, that gives it half its value. But well, in this case, it's just giving it extra value, okay? So that dot means you're giving that last note extra value, extra time. So you play that first measure, and you hit the A minor and play that. And remember, that symbol means vibrato. And a vibrato is not a bend. A vibrato is more of a kind of moving the note up, back, and forth. Notice that when I do vibrato, whether it's with one finger or I'm moving my forearm, my wrist. I'm trying to keep my fingers as stiff as possible. That's the proper way of doing it. So far we have so we went from A minor, which is the 1. So A, B, C, D. And if we're playing a 1, 4, 5 progression, typical blues progression, 1, 4, 5, D minor is the 4. And you're essentially playing what you played in A minor, but you're playing, the same sort of, lead progression there. You play, but you're playing it in D, which actually we're starting on the C. But that would fall all within here if you played it up here. It'd be the same way, but if you're new here, I want to keep it so you don't have to have that much movement. So you're going to use your 1st and 3rd fingers on the 3rd string this time, 5th and 7th frets. Then you're going to move your 2nd finger to the 6th fret, 2nd string, 3rd finger back to the 7th, 2nd finger back to that 6th fret on the 2nd string, back to that 3rd string, 7th fret with a vibrato, and give that note some time right there. So and then back to A minor. And then this classic blues thing. But first, let's go over that D minor. I know it's a little faded right here, but here's the fingering. I hope you can make that out. And just rewatch the video. Because this is all the foundations. I mean, if you can play this stuff, you're well on your way of playing more complicated progressions. So then, this measure, of course, 2nd measure, 3rd measure, and the 4th measure. So we're the 1, 4, back to the 1. 1, 4, 5 progression doesn't mean that you play 1, 4, 5. But check this out. So we got to actually put a bend. Put that little symbol right here, as you know. Those of you who've been watching, this is a symbol for a full step bend. It means full step bend unless otherwise indicated, like a half a step or a step and a half, but a full step bend. So you bar those first 2 strings and give a down, down, up. And now 8th and 5th fret, 8th and 5th frets on that second string, and then 7th and 5th on the 3rd, and on that 7th fret. But if you've never done that before, you gotta keep your fingers as still as possible and angle your fingers. That time I added an extra note. That's what that is. So you have those first 4 measures. Now you're going to go to an E minor. And up to now, you've been playing these notes, these little fills, these blues fills, they like to call them. They're all on the pentatonic, okay? Which is a 5-note scale, the blues scale. Now this little fill that's coming up in the E minor, playing the E minor. This is the beginning of a scale, a natural minor scale. So 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Starting on the 5th string with your 1st, 3rd, and 4th fingers on that 7th, 9th, and 10th frets. On the 5th string, 7th, 9th, and 10th frets also on the 4th string. So you have then just the 7th and 9th frets on the 3rd string. Then to D minor. And that's a little different. Okay? So let's go to that bottom line. There's the E minor, the natural scale. That's probably the easiest thing to play. All right? Pretty straightforward. And finally, you play the D minor, and then you go to the A minor and just play it like you did the first measure. Well, let's go over this D minor. So you play, first we'll do the E minor, D minor, 8th fret on the 1st string with the 4th finger, 7th fret, 3rd, 5th fret, 1st finger, 2nd string, 8th fret. Give a vibrato and just add some time to that last note. It's an A note. If you wanted to, instead of using the bar chords, you can use A minor this way. A minor again. Then a D minor this way. And just go down. Actually, you can play the D minor this way. Or it would be more like, I'd play it this way, yeah. Because actually this is a major. So play your D minor up here if you'd like. Back to A minor. E minor. We'll keep it the same. D minor, instead of playing it this way, if you so choose. A minor. And there you have it. Let me show you the whole tab again. Right? There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Keep playing and have fun.